Maybe everything we are supposed to be in this life just takes a little more time than we expected. You look at Ecclesiastes and it says the end of a thing is better than the beginning of a thing. I feel like every time I read the Bible, there's somewhere in it that's trying to give a point to say, for a Christian, time is on your side.
Jesus' first miracle, where he turned the water into wine. What they said usually they serve the best first, but your wine, you gave us the best at the end.
There's proof. There's proof that the life of somebody who fears God gets better and better.
This is daily bread. Jesus is our daily bread. You don't come here and take enough for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then you come back and open it on that 5th day.
It's not going to work.
No, you come to it daily. That's so important. Like, believers need to understand that. It's daily bread.
Getting into your daily bread will probably solve 80% of the problems you have in your brain right now. Maybe the reason why some people don't take the Bible daily is because they kind of see it as like this. Welcome back. This is Sharp Podcast. I'm your co-host Jay.
And I'm Frank.
And we are live.
Yes.
Let's get it going, Frank. I just got back from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, man.
It's gorgeous out there. I hope you guys can make it there one day. It's actually pretty cool because it's only a 4-hour flight.
No, that's
you don't
nice.
need a passport. It's part of the U.S.
Okay.
And the flight's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
It's only like $300.
It's not bad.
Yeah. You know,
good weather.
I'd like to go to Jesus' land, Jerusalem, one day, but
yeah, that'd be nice.
That flight is way more expensive. You know, I pray that it teleports me there one day.
Hopefully.
Okay.
So what would you like to get into today? What's on your heart?
Well, I think we could talk a little bit about how when you're a believer, maybe what you're expecting from God might, or maybe everything we are supposed to be in this life just takes a little more time than we expected.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just maybe. Just maybe. Like there's this verse. I think it kind of baffles me sometimes because it says that your latter days will be greater than your former. Meaning like the beginning is going to be extremely rough and difficult. But then it says and then you look at Ecclesiastes and it says the end of a thing is better than the beginning of a thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like every time I read the Bible, there's somewhere in it that's trying to give a point to say, for a Christian, time is on your side. Like some people hate waiting and time.
Yeah.
Some people think it's against them. I think it's against me.
Yeah.
I'm only getting older. Why do I gotta wait so long? Yeah. So maybe we could talk about how time is actually on our side.
When you said that too, I thought of Jesus' first miracle. Where he turned the water into wine.
Right.
And back then they would serve what? They would serve, they served the best
wine first.
And then the worst after because people, felt it a little more. So that goes with what you're saying. But then what? Jesus gave the best at the end.
At the end.
He gave it at the
good.
end. He gave the
That's
best.
good. We might be on to something.
They said, what did they say? They said usually they serve the best first. But
that
for
is
your
what the
wine,
master said.
Your wine, you gave us the best at the end.
At the end.
So I think that's true.
Ooh, that's so sweet.
That's good.
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
There's proof. There's proof that the life of somebody who fears God gets better and better.
Yeah.
We just got to stick it out. We got to be diligent.
That's true.
Yeah. And we even have some examples in the Bible of people who didn't start off on a perfect path.
Yeah.
They had some rocky roads.
They did.
Who would you think started off with some rocky roads?
I think of two people. I think of Peter, the disciple.
Okay.
Even all the way up until Jesus being crucified on the cross, it wasn't looking good. When Jesus, I think it's funny, Jesus tells him, who do they say I am? And they say, they say you're a prophet. Oh, they say you're this, you're Elijah. And he goes, well, who do you say I am? And he says, you're the Messiah, the Son of God. And he says, well, good job, because that wasn't revealed to you just naturally, That was God speaking to you. But then right after that, he rebukes him because he tells him what's to come. And then he tells the same guy, I rebuke you, get behind me, Satan. And then you think it would get better, but then it gets worse, because then when he says, oh, Jesus, I'm going to follow you till the end. And he says, before the end of the day, you're going to deny me 3 times. And he does, and he looks at Jesus, right, at that last time, and he just feels horrible. And then, Jesus dies and he's crucified, and then he gets resurrected on the 3rd day, but they don't see Jesus until days later.
Right.
Was it 40 or 50 days later?
Right, whatever number, yeah.
And then, and then I'm sure he felt better. I'm sure Jesus restored him, right, because of he came to him actually in his glorified body. What was it? What did you say? He had a glorified body at that point? Because he was walking through walls.
Absolutely, he had his glorified body. He was eating and without, while walking through walls.
Yeah. And then the second, and then we see what he became, right, Peter. Right. The other one is the woman who had the issue of blood. She said that most of her life, when she had this, it was 12 years. She spent everything to find a cure. And then one encounter with Jesus, and she was healed.
Right.
So I think those are 2 things that come to mind for me. There's a lot more. What about you?
Man, there's a lot of people in the Bible who I would consider started off with a bumpy, difficult, painful road. I would say Moses started off with a very difficult road. I relate to him so much because he had so many insecurities. The day God called him to do what he needed to do in a burning bush, the only thing Moses kept saying is, but I can't, but I'm incapable, but I've never done that, but who am I going to say is with me? But how are they going to believe me? And God had a response for every single one of those excuses.
Can I interrupt you though?
Yes.
Because I was just talking to someone about this, how when you read that, I don't know if people realize how annoying Moses sounded.
He sounds super annoying.
But then if you think about it, when we read him, we're like, man, he sounds so annoying, bro. That's us though.
That's me
how
every
annoying
single
are we?
day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But
God tells you, get that lady out the wheelchair. I say, but I can't.
Yeah.
I've never done that before. I barely get out of bed in the morning. I'm going to get this lady out the wheelchair.
For real. Oh, man.
That's Moses' story, man. It's crazy. That same guy is the first guy to ever see God's body, his back. I didn't even know God had a back before that scripture.
For real.
I didn't even know how God had traps for the scapula. But apparently he does, because Moses saw it in detail, So the guy matured so much just within a span of 40 some odd years. And I think when I read something like that, the biggest thing I have to ask myself is, what's my journey gonna look like? Because every time I make a mistake, I think it's the end of the world. Every time I fall short, every time I sin, every time I struggle with forgiveness, my mind immediately reverts to this pattern of accusing myself or shaming myself. But now that I've heard that voice for so many years, I'm starting to realize, no, it's not over. God's forgiveness is there. His mercy is for me. And the journey continues on. As long as we're on this earth, the journey of faith and believing God's future is there for me. It continues on. And this is obviously off topic, but that's why one of the number one things killing our youth is so detrimental, and that is suicide. People think after a mistake or a bad week or even a bad year that God is done with their lives and they can't go anymore. This is not the truth. There's plenty of people in the Bible who had bad years. By the way, the person who had the worst year was Job. Job had the worst year. I was just reading about Job the other day. If anybody reads the book of Job, I mean, he had everything you could have wanted in life. He got married at a young age. He had plenty of children, successful businesses. He had servants and butlers and a lot of land. And literally all of those things, except for his wife, was taken away.
Yeah.
You know? But Job stuck it in there. He stuck it out.
But even in that story, how when things go bad, because you know that's so true what you said about suicide. It's also like what you're hearing, what you're listening to, you know, who and what is accusing you. When that all happened, Job, he experienced life to its fullest with blessing, and this terror came, and he experienced the worst. But look, the way he was talking about the situation, right? He was upset. Who wouldn't be upset? And the way he was talking, look what his three friends came, and then they were just talking the same way.
Yeah.
And I think that's such an important part of the story as well. Job, he didn't curse God, but I mean, look at such a negative talk, and it just, look who surrounded him.
That
Friends who were
environment,
just as negative as him, accusing him. So I just think that's important, especially what you're saying. It's you got to be careful of what you're saying, how you're speaking, who you're surrounding yourself with.
Right.
Are you allowing yourself to be accused, you know? Because that's so good. Yeah.
I've even heard it said that the most important diet you should be aware of is the diet of your mind. You know, whatever your mind is consuming, that's ultimately what you're going to become.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, boy, I don't want to get too excited, but, you know, when I think about, like, the diet of the mind, right?
I got something about this.
When I think about the diet of the mind, it always leads me back to, like, listening to this poet named Jackie Hill Perry. And Jackie Hill Perry says, I think it's the reason why Jesus prays, Lord, give us our daily bread. She says, because God is not, when you start getting into the word or spending time in your Bible, God is not, he does not want us to take a weekly bread. No, like this is something we need daily. This is something our minds need to consume. It's something we need for our survival. You know, it's kind of like a mandatory supplement.
It is.
You know, and without it, you will surely die. You know, and you can keep that in mind for every example Jesus gives. Like he says he's bread. He says he's life. He says he's water. You need water every day. You don't need water once a week.
No, that's so true. I mean, bro, that God spoke so clear to me regarding that. Because at the end of last year, I was reading Exodus. And it was saying how the manna came. People were complaining the manna came. And he gave instruction. Every day, go get what you need. Get enough. Don't save it. Don't get enough for tomorrow. Or don't, you know, for the next day or the week, because it's going to spoil. Enough for the day. On the 6th day, grab enough for 6 and the 7th day. And then we just repeat the cycle. But it said some people got more.
Right.
And when I was reading that, I was like, man, what does this mean? And why is there some people? Why did some people get more? Because there's always people who think I'm ahead of the game. I'm gonna plan for the, you know.
I'm ahead of the game.
I'm gonna get more. I'm gonna save myself from that trip tomorrow, and it's spoiled.
Yeah.
But bro, I received revelation on that because of the prayer. Right. This day, get to our Father who art in heaven. Right. The Our Father. He talks about this is daily bread.
Right.
And you had to go daily to get what you needed. There is no need for you, and same thing with our word. This is daily bread. Jesus is our daily bread.
Right.
It's a daily thing. You don't come here and take enough for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then you come back and open it on that 5th day.
It's not going to work.
No, you come to it daily. That's so important. Like, believers need to understand that. It's daily bread.
Yeah, daily bread.
Daily.
I don't understand how that is difficult to comprehend. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm going to make a bold statement, and I'm going to say getting into your daily bread will probably solve 80% of the problems you have in your brain right now.
It will.
80% of it. Now, this book, keep in mind, is not a psychological book. That's not why it was written.
No.
But it'll heal your brain.
It will.
This book is not, it's not a recipe for how to heal cancer, but it'll heal your body. Proverbs chapter 4 says, my son, attend to my words. Let them not depart from thy eyes. Keep them in the midst of mine heart. For it is life to those who find them, and health to all their flesh. This book is not a book to be studied in universities, right? They don't put it in universities. But it says, the memory of the righteous shall be blessed. Like, it's going to bless every single category in your life. I mean, you can't say more than that. Can you say more than that?
No. Well, and also, you said about the diet, right? The diet of the mind.
Yeah.
I read something recently and I was like, man, this is so good. It was talking about your faith in Jesus. And it was saying how your faith has to become so real. It has to be in action. You have to actually, to have faith, right? It's more than a word. It's a way to live. It's a way to believe. And it was saying how, if you think of a diet, right? It's not enough for you to be like, I know fast food's bad for me, right?
Right.
I think I should be eating more broccoli. When we say and do things like that, there's no action taken, so your health will never change. And that's the same thing with our faith. I think there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I know about the Bible.
Yeah.
I think it's good if I start, but there's no faith, there's no action with it. Well,
Right.
Your diet, your life is going to stay the same. Your health isn't going to improve because you never took the step. You never took action.
Never. I'm starting to think that maybe, let's just backtrack a little bit. Okay, let's reverse it. Okay, the Bible is our daily bread. Maybe, I want to think about this logically. Maybe the reason why some people don't take the Bible daily is because they kind of see it as like this special occasion type thing. By special occasion type thing, like bread, for example, is not really a special occasion food. It's obviously something that people consume on a daily basis. They consume it in rice, they consume it in sandwich, they consume it in pita, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's a daily, regular, normal thing that people are familiar with. It's a part of their routine. I think some people think the Bible's like cake. Like, we're going to have this when we're ready to celebrate and get together and be all in one accord. And when things are happy and when things are right and we're in the best situation and our birthdays are here, we're going to have this cake.
Yeah.
That's not the Bible, bro. The Bible is not special occasion cake.
For real.
The Bible is daily bread. God wants you to be familiar with it. Y'all don't know what's in cake.
No, you don't.
Y'all just go to the grocery store and you buy it. But you know what's in bread. Yeah. It's a simple formula. It's something you eat every day. If somebody gave you some bread with your eyes closed, you would know it was bread.
Yeah.
And I think that is the kind of familiarity, the kind of everyday love we have to have for this word. It can't just be a special occasion diet. It's got to be an everyday thing.
Yeah. That's good.
So, okay. I'm glad we got that out the way. We should just talk about that every podcast. We should start off the podcast with "This is our daily bread," not special occasion cake.
That's good.
Woo-wee. We can talk about that. Okay. What are you pointing at there?
I'm in John 6, where he talks about, I'm the bread of life. We'll give some scripture.
Go ahead and read that.
Yeah, John 6:35. It said, Jesus replied, I'm the bread of life. No one who comes to me will ever be hungry again. Those who believe in me will never thirst. These are promises. But you haven't believed in me, even though you have seen me. However, those the Father has given me will come to me, and I will never reject them. But I love it. Even goes down in 41. He tells them, I'm the bread from heaven. Because they're arguing about this Exodus where he provided manna. And Jesus is coming out and just saying that, what you guys are holding on to regarding your ancestors and how they made it through in this journey in the wilderness where they should have died. But I provided food for them, which was manna. And they're questioning Jesus and his authority. He's coming out hot and he's just saying, I'm the bread from heaven.
Right.
He's saying what sustained them, what made them live, what made them keep going, what made them reach the promised land. It was me.
Sheesh.
So
Jesus was back there
mm-hmm.
in Exodus.
Yeah.
Now he's up in the New Testament.
He was back there, yeah, in Exodus. He was even further back in Genesis 1:1. And he's actually all the way at the end in
He's
Revelation.
actually all the way at the end of the book, too.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
He didn't become Jesus when he was born.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's always been
Jesus for eternity.
But even what you were saying in the beginning about there's so much time, the end, right? Like, it's not about the beginning, because the end gets even better. Bro, even in our Bible, like when we go all the way to Revelation, we see that there's a time of chaos. There's a time of madness. But you know what comes after that? His reign.
That's right.
The new heaven, the new earth.
Right.
Like, it's just so true. I mean, I think what comes to mind is the way we view our perspective on life. Like, if you picture your walk in this life, and I hope it's with Jesus, like when you're going on a trip, you're going to see things from a distance. And it might look, things might look crazy, or things might look small and they look microscopic. But then as you continue on the journey, and you get closer to things, they become more visible and more clear. And then you pass them on and you go to something else. And I think that's like our journey and how we look at things in life. Like, at first, nothing's going to ever be so clear because you're so far.
Right.
But the more you walk closer, and in this case, the more you walk closer to Jesus and you continue to live, it's like things become even more clear.
Yeah.
I think that's so important. I think we have a perspective where it's like, oh, it's blurry, I don't understand, it looks scary. But it's like you're so far you're so far back.
Right.
Get a little closer and you're gonna see more clear.
You'll have more clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mentioned to Frank earlier before the podcast that I had a very shocking moment in Puerto Rico, and the moment was I was around family and we were having a good time. We were eating fruits off of trees and celebrating and going to the beach, and it was 85 degrees and sunny, and I realized something, and I felt something in my head just like telling me this isn't as fun as me with a journal and a Bible. I just heard that in my head, and I was like, yeah, I can't wait to get back home to just get back to my normal routine.
Yeah.
Be in my bedroom, in my space, and I know that sounds crazy, dude. Even me saying this now, that sounds crazy to my own.
Yeah.
Me myself, and because I used to really freak out over vacation. I used to really have a great time, and I think I'm just starting to mature just a little bit. Or I'm starting to do what David talks about in the Psalms, where he says he's delighting in the Lord. Like, it's his ultimate form of happiness and joy and fulfillment. And, I honestly, ever since that has happened, I've been praying for everybody in my life to experience that just a little bit.
Yeah.
If they haven't, because there's this guy, and I told you before we started the podcast, his name is Solomon in Ecclesiastes. I'm going to actually find it.
Yeah, take a second.
And it's in Ecclesiastes chapter 2. And it says, "So I said to myself, come on, let's try pleasure. Let's look for the good things in life." This is Ecclesiastes chapter 2. "But I found that this too was meaningless. So I said, laughter is good. What does it do to seek pleasure? After much thought, I decided to cheer myself up with wine." Okay, watch this. "And while still seeking wisdom, I clutched at foolishness. In this way, I tried to experience the only happiness most people find during their brief life in this world. So I began the journey to try to find meaning by building huge houses for myself." That's number one. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, a lot
of people try to buy the biggest home and get a movie
They
theater in the basement.
They spend their whole life.
They spend their whole life paying off for a house like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he does that. We're talking about huge homes,
Yeah,
multiple homes.
yeah.
We're not talking about one. Okay. Okay, then he says, okay, I build huge homes for myself. Then he says, I planted beautiful vineyards. I mean, the guy has gardens after gardens after gardens.
Yeah.
Every fruit and vegetable you could think of. I mean, who doesn't want to taste that straight
Yeah,
from the ground?
exactly.
What a luxury.
Natural.
People pay to go to vineyards, and have all this wine tasting. I took a girl once to a vineyard. I couldn't believe how much she drank. I was so ashamed. Anyways, and I paid a lot of money to go to that vineyard. Okay, that wine tasting. But anyways, I made gardens and parks. I filled them with all kinds of fruit trees and different activities. I built reservoirs to collect water from different wells to irrigate my flourishing groves. I bought slaves, both men and women, and others were born into my household. He said, I also owned large herds of animals, different species and flocks, more than any kings who had ever lived before me. Okay, now this is just the beginning.
Yeah, so like the cats and the dogs.
He got the cats and the dogs. He's got the goats and the cows. He's got the horses, beautiful horses. Okay, then he says, I collected great sums of silver and gold, the treasure of many kings and provinces. This guy got all the money in the world.
Yeah.
That's number one. Okay, I hired great singers and entertainers and many beautiful concubines.
So like
okay,
the Bad Bunny.
he had the Bad Bunnies. He had the Megan Thee Stallions. Not only
Yeah, 'cause
that,
I know all those.
he had beautiful concubines. If y'all don't know what that
Yeah.
means, that's quote for hoes. Okay, he had a bunch of hoes.
Okay.
Okay, he said he wasn't denying himself any pleasure.
He wasn't
Okay,
holding
so he had
back.
it all.
So he like spent all the money on the top OnlyFans models.
Oh, definitely
Right,
top
right,
OnlyFans model.
right.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I like that.
just want to make it.
We want to make
modern
it
for
clear.
people.
We want to
Yeah,
make sure you understand.
Yeah.
And he says, so I became greater than anybody who lived ever before me. And he says, I was the wisest than anybody who's ever lived before me. And I denied myself no pleasure. I found great pleasure in hard work and reward. And then he says, you go down to verse 24, and he says, so I'm sorry, 25. I'm 24. And he says, so I decided nothing is better than to eat and drink to find satisfaction in work. Then I realized that these pleasures are from the hand of God. Now watch this. This is the part that took me, right? And it says, verse 25, for who can eat or enjoy anything apart from the Lord? For God gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy to those who please him. Whoo-wee, boy. Okay, listen. Can we talk about this, okay? Because this man just gave the keys to life in a way. You go first.
No, you.
You go first.
No, I want to hear from you.
I'm just excited and astounded because here you have, I think that Ecclesiastes is one of the greatest books ever written.
It is.
Because people have all these different authors in the world trying to give them Joel Osteen's keys to success.
Yeah.
And, forget about Joel Osteen, okay? Listen to Solomon.
Yeah.
Solomon just told you that he accomplished everything you will ever accomplish 20 to 100 times more. And at the end of accomplishing it all, he says, but nothing satisfies and pleases me like the Lord can.
That's crazy.
Nothing. There's nothing. I've tried it all. Imagine if he was here talking to you right now. He says, you know that thing you're chasing? I've done it.
Yeah.
You know that thing you want? I've got it. I'll give it. He would have told you, I'll give it to you. I don't need it. I figured it out. Nothing pleases me. No, I can't enjoy anything unless God is with me.
That's good. That's good.
What else of a message do you need for people in our age group, like 20 to 30?
Yeah.
What else kind of message do you need? There is no other message. Because let's be real. Our culture admittingly and consistently agrees that this age group should be the age group and time frame of the grind. I'm going to grind to get that house. I'm going to grind to get my wife, a better medical plan. I'm going to grind to make sure that the backyard is all set up with Bermuda grass and a nice pool. And we're going to make sure we get that new Benz and make sure we got 6 months saving. And Solomon says, forget all that. Forget about it. Forget about it.
For real.
Forget about it. Even if you have all that, you won't be able to enjoy it unless God is at the center.
That's good.
That's the key.
That's the key.
That's the key. And you know how God can be at the center?
Tell us.
Daily bread.
Daily bread. That's good.
Daily bread.
That's good.
If you don't got the daily bread, he's not at the center. That's just an honest fact.
That is.
I mean, that's as practical as we can make it.
It is. And I think that's my biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
Is what you just closed with. Jesus has to be at the center.
He has to be at the center. You know, there's really no other way to put it. I mean, we can say it 100 different ways, but ultimately it comes down to, if Jesus is at the center, you can have the house, you can have the spouse, you can have the job, you can have the promotion, you can have the car, you can have the vacation, but no matter where you go, exactly the same way I was feeling in Puerto Rico, I had everything around me. And I was like, I just can't wait to get to my Bible and my journal.
That's so
I
good.
needed, I had an itch for it. You know, I couldn't even enjoy anything because it was like something was missing,
Yeah.
you know.
Jeez, that's amazing.
And I pray that for everybody. I hope you all have the same itch to just be around God.
I love that.
You know. Well, that was a good podcast.
That was welcome back. Welcome back. We want to invite you to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.
Fear what you don't know.